Hello everyone, week number 3. Confidence, willpower, passion, all those negative emotions that come with it as well. Anger, greed, manipulation. We're going to look at all of that. So the first week was all about finding foundation, grounding, security, safety. Second week, it was all about flow, how we flow in life, in the water element, and now we come to the fire element, action. So this week we're going to call on action. We're going to learn how to go for it, how we can use that phrase, yes, I can. So the fire is a very strange thing. We always think that the digestive system will have fire if we practice breath of fire, for example, or if we do all this movement to create that fire, and we can be fiery and have fire all around us, but the digestive system might be still wet, it depending on the nature of, and in fact, your genes and how you're born. You can have all the fire you want, but not there when you actually need it to aid the digestion. So very often we have good space for the bacteria to grow. So those kind of people, there are different kind of Pitta, Vata, Dosha in all these kind of, in the Vedanta. And in India, they kind of, Ayurveda style, they see what type you are. So they make you they see if you have a fire in the stomach, if you have a more wet environment where the bacteria can grow more. That's when people have digestion problems and IBS and all of this. We're going to look at all of that properly, and what diet and what herbs we can use, things like that, because dieting and this whole area, it's a huge problem these days, and kind of especially in America, I think. So all those sodas and all those things have to go. I mean, we are lucky, I'm lucky to be in California. It's a different story, but a lot of, unhealthy food, it's happening all around. So we're going to bring little consciousness to it and education. We're going to start, right, with our 5 breaths. Inhale through the nose, exhale powerfully, long through the mouth. So let's just center so we are all in the same level. Inhale, exhale. Okay. Okay. The mantra for this week is RAM. R-A-M. RAM. So let's do a few minutes of this. Ram, 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 Ram. Ram, 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 Ram. Okay. All right, so we carry on. So this week we will be moving the reserve energy that gets stuck in our stomach. So what does that mean? Very often the energy stagnates around that area, the digestive area, and that's why we have problems. So why is that? In this area, we have like 72,000 nerves, at least. Some people are more, they have even more. So 72,000 nerves, so the whole nervous system is located, the nerve endings, at the stomach area. So the first thing that happens when we are stressed, where does it go? Immediately in the stomach. So the first thing that is like, it's like hits your guts, you can't eat, you can't digest, because you can't digest life, you can't digest food, it's difficult to process what we hear, it's difficult to process what we know, the surroundings around us, everything that happens around us. So therefore, food will be just the same. So we get stuck there. So the nervous system gets really wind up, and it needs to be unwind and relaxed and released and get rid of all that stuckness and make it smoother so it flows more, so that we get the energy. We get the energy from the food, from the air, everything, all this energy, and so we can process properly, where basically goes to the liver. And the liver is really the organ. It's a large organ, but it works a lot for us. We constantly have to refer to the liver. If the liver is stuck and sluggish and it's not processing all that information that we just talked, and not only just food and environment and air and the toxins, it's also emotional toxins and emotional baggage we carry, all has to be processed through the liver. So good old our liver, we really have to be kind and nice to our liver. We really have to pay attention to our liver. You can even make, there is a Chinese in Qigong meditation when you can really just close your eyes and put your attention, imagine the liver, it's right there, the big organ right on the right, kind of under the rib cage on the right side. And you just imagine how it's pumping and it's flushing out toxins. We have a great exercise that I'm going to show you to flush out toxins specifically from the liver. So just with the breath of fire, we're going to be pumping the air right in that area with the position we're going to take and flush it all out. So you're like massaging it. It's like working it. But this specific visualization, you just put all your energy and imagine huge light in your liver, and it's just pumping bright white light, and it's just, inhale, exhale. With every inhale, exhale, it's pumping and it's receiving that light, and it's rejuvenating and fresh energy. So it's like really feel, what the interesting thing is will be, we don't know much our bodies or the organs, so go in the anatomy book or go on the internet and find out how the liver looks exactly, and so have that visualized in your head so you know how the liver looks. You really have to look at it to visualize it. So then you place it right there and imagine it bright, fresh color, because when the liver is sluggish, it has a darker colors, and it's like and it's shriveled rather than juicy, big, red color liver. So visualize it, see how it looks, put it on the right side, close your eyes, keep looking at the light into the liver, feel how it's all working, breathe through it, and you can do as much as time you want. When you get so good at visualization and meditation, and that's what we're going to learn this week as well, you can just close your eyes and immediately happens. You can just transform yourself like you could be inside the liver doing the job. It's very interesting what visualization can do. You basically can be anywhere and do everything. So in 1 second, I can just look, and now I go to that point that I can be talking to you, and I'm already envisioning visualizing the liver in my body and pumping and doing the light and the whole thing. So in the same time, simultaneously, parallel, in a way can be happening in the same time that we can be doing these things. So get better at visualizing and meditation, so you can get to that point when you can just close your eyes in a second, you're there. So yes, we're gonna be also this energy that is causing indigestion because of the stuckness of the liver and the digestive system, the nervous system, the 72,000 nerves. So keep remembering that number, and keep remembering that, like, every time you get stuck, like you can't breathe and the gut is not working, it's not giving you any information, you know that that's the nervous system that needs to be unclogged, unblocked. And for that, we have a mantra, Har. What did we talk about it last time? Har is fantastic for breaking down and getting rid of. It's like, it's your sword, like killing things, like get rid of. So we use Hara, and it's like we use force, because Hara is masculine. We use force to get rid of things. You can't just be nice about it. Oh, go away, please. So sometimes that's why we have masculine and feminine. There are two energies that cannot be separated, that always go together, and they have to work together. So there is this exercise that we're gonna do, which you hit the floor with all your powers, like with the anger and everything coming out. Hit the floor, saying Har, and then you come up, and then Hari, and you clap your hands. It's almost like a celebration. You come up, and so you're working on constantly the whole spine and the whole body vertically, all the chakras. You're bringing the energy from the floor, getting up, clapping. It's like really, really powerful, and you really sweat, and you're excited and inspired, and everybody laughs after that. So I made a recording so that it goes easier, so that otherwise everybody goes into different timings. When you have a class and you have hundreds of people and everybody goes Hara, and then another Hara there and another Hara. I said, no, we have to be in unison, so we have to be always together. So I made a recording, and it's there. You put it on, follow it, so you're in the same time with everybody. So we're going to do that. Then we will clear obstacles so that you manifest everything you desire. Where does that manifestation happen? It's again from here. So when this area is blocked, we tend to be manipulative. So we manipulate our ways into life. Manipulate your way to get to a better position at work. We manipulate your way to get to that partner. We manipulate, but that's driven by the ego. It's not a long-term solution, and it's not giving us best results. It's not for the best of all concerned. So you have to really get to that point where you have enough knowledge, emotional knowledge in the gut, that will tell you how to get everything you want and manifest everything you want without obstacles, and in the righteous way, in the right way that has long-term benefits. It's not manipulating, but in a real way, in a human, real, positive way. So clear obstacles, then we will stimulate and increase your willpower. So the willpower on a physical, emotional, mental, spiritual way. So the willpower is something, it's a self-esteem. It's something that we really can be working on and gain. And it doesn't come easy. You have to work on it. So sometimes, some people are born with more that's of the survival instinct and that kind of willpower. I'm going to make it, and yes, I can, and I can do it, and using the positive affirmation. And some people don't have it that strongly in building him, but whichever way, we're going to find some solutions for it and exercises how to bring it up. And very often when you have to make decisions, for example, I've learned this amazing, again, that was from Himalayan tantric exercises of Kundalini. That is more, it's called a warrior. So there are 3 different positions of warriors where you really make the decision, you pull like the energy, you bring it in, you really work with the energy. So that is very very beneficial for making decisions, because very often I get questions, and it was some of them about how to make decisions, how to make when you're on a crossroad, and work related or relationship related, whatever it is, you can be doing these exercises will help you to get to that point when you really know. You don't have to ask. You know, somebody said that you know that you are you gain some kind of hierarchy in the spiritual level when you don't ask anymore. You don't ask others, you don't ask around, you just have that sense of knowing, okay, it is what it is, this is it. And so you have that sense of knowing that whatever you do, it's right at this present moment, at that time. So when you look at it like that, in that case there is no wrong, because everything is right. At that moment, whatever you're doing is right for that moment. But then the moment changes. So that's where you can, stop listening to the judgmental voice that we've heard from our teachers, from parents, from friends, from partners. We all have that voice, and specifically our own voice of judgment, which keeps going on and on and on. So we're going to rumble about it. We're going to learn how to get rid of that voice forever. And actually the most simple thing you can do immediately as soon as that voice, because I have a lot of that. So growing up in Macedonia was not easy. It gave me a real background to kind of get me really working on my spiritual side, because I had to. There was no other way to survive. So that judgmental voice, and immediately I thought, okay, as soon as you hear it from others or from yourself, I switch off and I just say, cancel, cancel, cancel. I say it 3 times, and it became like a joke in the family, actually, because I tell my kids all the time. They say something negative and I say, cancel, cancel, cancel. They say, no, oh my God, no, stop. And I said, no. So they all do it, because somehow they almost feel like a little bit of a superstitious about it. If we don't say cancel, cancel 3 times, mommy will be angry and whatever. They believe that maybe I have some powers. So it's so funny. The cancel, cancel, cancel becomes quite an interesting story. But use it. It does work. All right, we'll carry on increasing our willpower on every level. We will be dealing with releasing emotional baggage that gets stuck in the liver, causing lots of anger. Now, let's talk about anger a little bit, because the anger is not that bad. On a scale of like maybe 20 emotions, there is like a list of all the emotions from bottom going all the way up. The anger is actually quite up on the scale, which means if you come to the anger, then you're halfway there. Then you're almost, out of all this baggage. So, of course, it's much more difficult to work with sadness and depression, because then you cannot even get yourself to the energy point where you're angry. When you start getting angry, then your energy is coming back. You have a purpose. You're angry. You are not in denial. And that's difficult when you're working with the other emotions of the sadness. You're sad, you're depressed, you can't do anything. There is no movement. So that's why we always work on making, forcing yourself to go out there and do something physical, anything, work out, go walking, because even that is very difficult when you're in that stage. You have no energy to actually even move you into any other action. So the anger is action. So don't beat yourself up for the anger, because you're halfway there. So, but we will learn how to get rid of anger and how to work on it, how to work with it. All these emotions, as I said, nothing is wrong and nothing is bad. We just have to learn how to work with it and how to deal with it, and how to, at some point we need it released, some point we need it. But as long as you have education and you have awareness of what's going on, then that's how you're going to work through life and get better. So it's always the awareness, accepting, realizing, not being in denial, facing it, dealing with it. And then for the last 3 days, we will be learning how to meditate. So, as I said, meditation, visualization. That's so important. There's so many ways and techniques that people teach now of meditation, and this is a specific way that I learned and I teach and I do myself. There are like 5 stages to it. So to make it just easier to break down, because these days it's very difficult for somebody to say, oh, just go meditate. It becomes like annoying because people go, oh, yeah, really? So it's just like easy. For many people, it's not easy to visualize. For many people, it's not easy to sit in an easy pose, as we call it, cross-legged. Many people are not easy to meditate. And it's not. I know when I was starting, you sit there, and as soon as you sit and you close your eyes, even more of the thoughts come banging on you, and just chatter goes crazy, and you go through your list of everything you have to do and not to do, and all sorts of things come into your head. So I was like, this is even more difficult when you close your eyes, and even more thinking happens. So how to get rid of thinking and rid of thoughts? So that's why we make like there are these 5 stages. So slowly you get to that point. Like the first stage, you go just breathing, and you can apply mantra or just breathing. So there is a sequence of breath, how many you count: inhale, hold, exhale. So you get into that rhythm. So you have to focus your attention on something. So when you focus on that, on the breathing, then all the other thoughts cannot really bother you that much. So we do that one first. Then the second stage is now you get a little bit used to the breathing, and the circulation is going, and you're getting calmer because you're working on the stimulating the parasympathetic nervous system. So the second stage is now already easier. So every stage we go further, we're going to get easier and easier to get to that point of meditation. So the second stage, then we do something with the tongue. Again, focus on the breathing, but now we are stimulating the pituitary gland because of the tongue. We are pushing it up into the palates and stimulating, just triggering the pituitary gland, pineal gland. So all the glands are starting to work now and help you in this process of calming down and getting rid of chatter. So that will be the second stage. And then you're ready for the third stage, which is doing the mantra. Whatever mantra you decide to do, or whatever mantra you're given, or whatever you want to use as for that third stage. So we do the mantra for, and again, at least 11 minutes. I talked about the importance of minutes before, and but 11, it's still okay to just at least get the glandular system stimulated and working, because that will be already helpful. Of course, doing it more, it's more beneficial for different reasons. So then we go, and then after the mantra, after the breathing, after everything we've done, stimulating the pituitary gland, doing the tongue, the eyes, focusing on the third eye, then you're ready to stay still, to go into meditation. So you see, once you go through these stages, then it's easier. So then after the mantra is really opening the door to meditation. For me, mantra is very important. That's how I learn how to meditate. It's really through the mantra. So you can try yourself, and we're going to practice together, and so that you come to that conclusion yourself that works for you too. Fourth stage, and then the fifth stage is really coming out of that meditation, because again, you don't have to be very abrupt after you meditate and you become, and then suddenly you go up and look at a watch and you have to hurry to a meeting. It's not really, that's kind of ruining your meditation. So if you need to choose your time when you sit down in your specific place in the house that you have, maybe a corner of Zen, that we talked about that too, or actually you can do it anywhere. You can do it in, these days, if I don't have time, or if I don't have a space where I can do the 5 stages, when you get to that point, you can, as I said, you can close your eyes, you go straight into the 4th stage of the meditation. So, sometimes I'm in a taxi, and I'm using every moment that I have to get into that union of that connection. So I connect quickly with myself. I check with my 4 parts, the mental, physical, how is everybody doing, the emotional, spiritual, is the spirit guiding us, or is the mental, the mind guiding us? So always check with my parts, get into that space, like really have that groundiness and then heaviness, and it's just in the same times lightness. It's all that, always working with polarities and opposite energies. And you can come to that point. Yeah, I'm in a taxi, I'm immediately, closing my eyes and getting there. So meditation, it's actually a goal to all kinds of yoga. I mean, it is a goal. It is the best point you can get to. So why do we do yoga? And the asanas, the positions, the breathing, everything that goes with it, mantras, so that we can stretch our body, so we can be flexible in our body, and to sit in that cross-legged, easy pose as we call it, cross-legged position, and in meditation for longer. So that is the goal. So you are only working on your body and physically to connect the parts again, but the physical body is just doing the stretching, so that when you sit in easy pose, you find it, you're the container for this meditation. You can actually sit for longer time in cross-legged position. So let's talk about that. You think it was easy to sit in cross-legged position when I first started? And I'm young. I mean, I see now younger people have more difficult sitting in a cross-legged or reaching the floor with their toes. I mean, my kids are very tall and they have long legs, so I mean, it's even more difficult for them. So they can't reach the floor. So, and that was my case too. So you work on it. So every day, that's how you gain confidence. Every day, small steps, you go to your yoga, you do your practice, and every day you get stronger and stronger, and you come to the position where you can actually touch the floor. Oh, I can sit in the cross-legged position now, and I couldn't a couple of months ago. Oh, well, that's an improvement. So that is, you gain your confidence, and you think, oh, okay. Then you become more confident to sit, in the yoga class and do all your position, and you feel good. So you become stronger every day, and you feel that difference. So meditation, so when I first started, oh my God, crossing legs, and it was always the joke, this is called the easy pose, really? After 2 minutes I had to stretch my legs and fiddle about, but then I went to Vipassana, which is the silent meditation. So you actually sit in silence for 10 days and nobody speaks, you don't make any connection, you really go into your own space, and you meditate all day long. It's like 1 hour meditation, you go and walk a little bit, another 1 hour meditation, you walk a little bit, you listen to some lectures of Goenka. That was a beautiful, beautiful work, Indian master, and so much potency in that meditation. So I definitely learned how to stay still and in cross-legged position for a long time. So what happens is that you have to break through that pain threshold barrier, and we work in Kundalini Yoga quite a lot on it. So you sit in cross-legged and you have the pain, and the pain you can feel everywhere. So you go part by part of your body. Oh my God, my shoulders. Oh my God, I can't feel my legs. What am I going to do? How am I going to stand up? So all those things and all these thoughts are coming back to you, and the worry and the fear and the, oh, wow. So many things. And then my shoulder, oh, I don't even feel my shoulder, I don't even feel my hands. And that, but that is the point. At one point you don't feel any of parts of your body, and that is the point when you become just like, you let go of that shell, of that limitation, and then you start feeling, oh, the energy is now spreading around, so I'm becoming one with that tree around there. Oh, well, I'm now like, oh, I'm much bigger now. I don't have to, even at one point there is no pain because you don't feel anything. You went through it, but you have to sit through that pain. Oh man, it's not fair, right? But you have to. Once you break through that pain, it's like giving birth to yourself. Suddenly you're on the other side and you feel everything around it like completely becoming one, and it's such a yummy, beautiful energy, and then you really feel it like you're landed, you're home. And at some point I was actually annoyed that they woke me up, like they say, oh, okay, now it's time to, the meditation is finished. I was like, no, I want to stay longer. So if you have a chance, look into it. There are so many sessions going everywhere. There's so many different ashrams and energy points that people do this Vipassana. Highly recommend it. Not easy, but do it anyway. That's when you have the willpower and self-esteem and you said, okay, it's going to be hard, but I'm going to do it anyway. And that's the courage you need, right? So we will learn how to be still and enjoy peace and quiet. Something about, confidence. Let's talk a little bit more about confidence. It's not always that we are confident. I mean, it's kind of like a spiral movement. One day you're confident, the next day you're not. And what changes? But in that process of becoming more confident, you have to go through those changes. One day you're not, one day you are, one day you're not, one day you are, and then you come to the point again, breaking through and going on the other side. Oh, now you have some certain level of confidence that cannot go less anymore. So you build your platform. So once you're on that platform, nothing can make you going down. So you can only go up from that step forward and onwards. Building, that's why we call it building confidence. So every day by day, always be aware and notice your changes and notice how you're becoming more confident. So it's really just being aware of that position where you stand. I was in Paris 2 weeks ago. I was visiting my daughter, so now she studies there for this semester, which is wonderful. And I haven't been to Paris for a long time, but I said, okay, I'm going to go for a week, go and hang with her, see how she's doing, how her French is doing, and I can practice my French. But anyways, it happened to be the fashion week, exactly then. And then I realized, wow, so many people I know, and going back to my past life, I call it, when I was into fashion, and actually I started making lots of comparison between the fashion and confidence, yes and no. I call it like that. So I went to this Issei Miyake show and I watched the beautiful place, in the palace, and oh my God, it was just gorgeous, and the colors and I love Issei Miyake. I mean, I don't wear it much, but I love the style, and all this. The new season is fantastic. So I'm watching the models and the young little girls. They could be my daughters, and you're watching. And I know when I was at that point, oh man, I would go walk on the stage and on a catwalk, looking so confident, but arrogantly confident, because the arrogance helps you to behave, to look confident, and that's why everybody in fashion, it's like off. They're not nice, they're not smiling, because they're so afraid and so scared inside that they put that face of like arrogance and don't talk to me, I'm a fashion model, which we all did it. And I remember my days, gosh, inside I would be a nervous wreck, but I walk on the stage like nobody can do anything to me, right? And then inside you're like, oh. So that's it. Fake it till you make it. So then the words of Yogi Bhajan come to me. Okay, shake it till you break it, then make it till you fake it. Wow, there's a long sentence. As I first start going into Kundalini Yoga, when I heard this message, I was like, oh, this is not very yogi. I mean, fake it till you make it? Come on, that's not spiritual. So I was like, wondering and questioning that. But okay, in the West we only take that fake it till you make it, but then we didn't do the other bits before, shake it till you break it. So what you're doing, and that's what we are doing in yoga, and that's what Yogi Bhajan taught us a lot, to shake everything. That's what we did in the first movement. Shake it, get rid of, sweat it out, get rid of all the memory cells in the body of fear, of anything that's going on, anxiety, get rid of it. So you shake it till you break it. So it's broken now. Now what happens? From breaking it to making it, there is a fake stage. That's how I understood it. So I'm thinking, really, when I start analyzing every words of it, I was like, wow, it's actually making sense. So now in that stage, you're kind of, everything is broken. Now, how do you collect the pieces and make it one? Well, there is a stage when I'm not sure, but I'm going to fake it that I'm confident. So it's okay to fake it. That's what my point is. So when I look at all this, first you're judging like, oh, come on, you're faking it. You're not really confident. But it's okay, because then I was there, that little young model doing the fashion, feeling nervous, but I was faking it. But then I came to a point when you actually make it. So you lose that fakeness and you become that real confident. And then I was interviewing fashion designers and comparing how confident we are or not wearing clothing. Clothes is really the main important thing. I mean, we wear it all the time, every day. Of course, it's part of our lives. So how we wear clothes, what kind of clothes we wear, what colors do we use, all of this is part of your building your confidence and who are you becoming. So when you see somebody dressed, you immediately know much about that person, right? It tells you many things, how the hair looks, how the nails are, how the clothing, what clothes they're wearing, are they hippies, are they fashion, are they business people, are they artists? You see, all of that gives you immediate action and immediate knowledge and education. So, manifesting things in life, succeeding, what does that mean? How do we do what we want to do? How do we be who we want to be? There is a little page here about success. So I'm going to read it. Success does not mean the accumulation of wealth, the maintenance of position, or a supremacy of power. Success means a life free from the burden of anxiety, liberated from fear. That is our goal, and that is the success. It's not about material, what we're going to gain. It's just that, liberation from fear. There is no successful life without peace or without that inner spiritual certainty that knows that the soul is on the pathway of good, forever expanding into the conscious union of God with humanity. So this is your affirmation. Today, I expect every good thing to come to me. Everything that is worthy of the soul, I anticipate. Everything that belongs to the spirit, I accept. Everything that partakes of the nature of the divine reality, I claim as my own. Today, I identify myself with abundance and success. I know that my destiny is divine, that my destination is certain, that the kingdom of heaven is at hand. I know that this kingdom contains everything necessary to my well-being. In gratitude and with joy, I receive this kingdom into myself. So beautiful. But that is, it tells you everything, is the success. I mean, when you ask them, I did a little interview with the kids who are friends of my kids, and I kind of asked each person, like, what do you want to be? I mean, what is your goal? What success do you want to reach? And it's strange. These kids these days, they don't have much of a drive because they kind of expect everything given, and so they don't have much that idea or knowledge yet, or maybe they're still young. I don't know. But I had that drive very early in the days. But hey, we are all different. The generations are different. And they're not quite clear what success is. And of course, everybody says, to have this house and to have that position in work and that position and this, and I want to be maybe in the fashion, or I maybe want to be a media person, and I want to, of course, this is Hollywood. But nobody is still aware of that biggest success is that, liberation, and that to be free to do anything, to be okay with doing whatever you want to do, to be okay to live and live fully and be excited about it. And but I guess that comes with age. But it was interesting to see how the young generation think. So the lifestyle choices. Okay, we have a few more minutes. Let's talk. It's great to show action, make decisions, be confident, go and get that job you always wanted. This is it. This week will help you. We are supported with all the exercises we're going to have, with the breathing, with the meditation, everything that we're going to have. So you have that support. So do it now. That is your week to really go for it. Be confident. Get that what you always wanted, and you are always maybe afraid to go for interview, or just do it. Do it. This week it will help you because you are supported. You will feel empowered. So this is the time to manifest your dreams. When you're clear about what you want, the universe will often find ways to give it to you. So just be always, so what we're doing with yoga, we're making that union and that connection with the universal forces, with that creation, which is part of us. And then once you have that union and supported with all these exercises, you're supported with that consciousness of the universe, then you have much more force. So it's like I was talking last week. It's not about doing it yourself. Let go, let God. Let God guide you. Let the creation and creator who created you guide you and help you. So you can always trust. It's the trust issues, isn't it? So that's what we need to build. So you just have to be open. You have to use your intuition to guide you, and that's why you have to clear the area around the stomach. So you can tell what your gut instinct is saying. So it's always that. So your gut governs. Really, the gut can tell the mind what to do. Once you're stronger there, you will manage to be so and do so. If you want to bring something in your life, first you have to visualize it, as we just talked about it. Be specific. Examine your motives for wanting it. Think how you'd like to use it. So you see, that's what it is. With a visualization, you really have to be very specific. You really have to know. It's a big difference between the rather woolly, I want to earn lots of money, and the more specific, I want to earn money, enough money to be comfortable, to be worry-free, to look after my family, to go to holidays, to go to yoga retreats, to leave 20% of my income to charity. I mean, all these kind of things you can think of specifically. Be very honest and specific what exactly you want to do in your manifestation. Once you're clear, use all your senses to bring it to life. And then this is the hard bit, letting go of it. This is where the trust now happens. So you do all of this, visualization, be very specific, know exactly what you want, and then leave it to the creation. Leave it to the universe. Then you have to let go and not attach yourself. So you need to get to that point that you're okay if this doesn't manifest, because it has its own mind, and it has, we can't see the whole picture. They said if you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans. Because that's how it is. We know everything. We think we know everything. We think we have plans, and God is laughing, I'll have a plan for you, which you don't know, but it's better for you. But that's how far we still think small, and that's how far we think. And God has a bigger plans for us, and it's much bigger, something that we cannot even imagine. So stay with it, because trust that the universe have a plan for you. And then just don't get attached to it. Be okay if it happens or it doesn't, because then you will realize a few days later or a month or something else happened, which is way bigger than you can imagine. And so you see, you have no attachments to it. Be okay with it. And then the secret is also to be alert for coincidences. We touched upon it a little bit last week. Is the signs that we see all around us. It might be the bus crossing over and you can see the advertisement on it, but it rings something to you. It's like, some words are like ringing in your head. You got a message. Suddenly you got a message. Maybe you were meditating in the morning asking for something, but then you didn't get any message. But then you see the bus passing by and the words are there giving you the message. So it's really interesting. You really have to just follow the signs of the universe. And I often tell the joke about not being able to watch the signs of the universe. So there is a flood, and a specific guy says, oh my God, everybody's running and escaping, and the guy is sitting and doing nothing. He's still in the house, and his neighbors come by in the car. They said, look, it's still, the water is not that high. We have the car, we have a space, come in, we'll save you. He said, no, God will save me. All right, they go. Then water is coming bigger and bigger. He's keep going upper in an upper level in his house, and now it's water everywhere. So there is a boat. Comes another neighbors and said, "Hey, we have space. Get in." He said, "No, don't worry. God will save me." All right, they go. So then at the end, he's at the top of the house. There is no more space. It's all water around him, and there is a helicopter comes and they says, "Oh, come on, we can save you. Come, climb on the stairs." They send him a rope, and he's, no, don't worry, God will save me. So he dies, he goes to heaven, and he goes, "God, why you didn't help me? Why you didn't save me?" He goes, "Really? You're not watching the signs. I send your car, I send your boat, I send your helicopter. You didn't take any of that. So how else? I've sent you so much help, and you didn't get it." So that is the joke to remember. Watch the signs. Okay, then diet, nutrition. Wow, we have a lot to talk about that. So this week, how we're going to make that action, and how diet and food will help us into this action, manifestation that we're going to go for, right? We're going to eat carefully, mindfully, chew the food many times, be aware. And so you don't, like Japanese people, when they have meeting, they all get together, they eat alone because they are together, but they eat, they finish, then they talk business. So that's how it is. Even if in a social circumstance, when you're for lunch with other people or dinner, try to be in your space when you eat and then talk in between or after. But that space, it's really important for you to create that moment with you, relate to the food. We spoke about relationship last week. Also relating to the food is important. So you create that. I often pray and kind of like bless the food. So I just close my eyes for a second. I bless the food. I say a few words, just blessing to the food, to that moment, blessing all the people who touched, all those hands who touched that food, and all the sunshine and everything that happened on that food, so that I bring that goodness inside me. So I chew the food many times. And then the important thing here is not to be diet, food envy, I call it. Because so often we go to dinners and other people order the things that you actually want to eat, but you order being healthy with your guilt conscious. So you're eating your salad and all you want is the steak and the glass of wine that the other person is having. So that is the food envy, and it causes more damage because you feel guilty all the way through. So every food, every bite you take, you're not happy and you're bringing unhappiness inside. So you rather have that steak and the wine and be happy, be jolly, be okay with it. So in those situations, do it. Then maybe at home, when you're not having food envy and somebody to to compare with, then maybe do your juice and do other things than part of your diet. So for this week, I'd like us to eat less and small portions, but more often. So 5 times. So you eat your breakfast, then mid-morning, then you eat your lunch, mid-afternoon, and dinner. But small portions, like whatever you can hold in one hand. That's what they said. That's the bowl. So let's see how that goes. 5 meals a day, small portions. Enjoy the color, smell the texture, be grateful, bless the food, chew, and then knowing when it's enough. So you know when to stop. So we have to develop that intuitive insight to know when it's enough. And to help you with digestion elimination, we can make a shake, and I give you the coconut milk, filtered water, fresh figs, date, cinnamon. Put it all in the blender and enjoy it, and it's fantastic. I'll give you all the recipes, and it's all going to be there. And so it seems like we covered almost everything, and please send me the questions. I did have some questions, but we don't have time. Maybe I start talking too much, but I guess that's the purpose of this first session in the week. And then the second one, we can be more chatty, and I can get more into practical and the exercises. And send those questions. I really love the questions. Love your questions. So let's sort out and clear up anything that you are not very clear about. Yeah, and that you have some questions about the exercises or anything to do with this week. So this is going to be my ending. I will see you on the Thursday with more exercises. All right, have fun this week. Bye.